Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your thumbs up. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And I want to shout out April Dreams, Atlanta Jules, Rhonda Davis, Miss Cleo, The Kim, Common Sense, Jacqueline Hardy Lassiter, and Selena T629. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Today we are talking about why Black people are reacting so passionately towards his death. His meaning Nolan Wells. Black people on social media in real life have ramped up attention to this case to the point that it has drawn the world in. Everybody wants to know now what happened to Nolan Wells. The question for me is, why are Black people so passionate about this death? Because there are several Black American men who have met death the same way that Nolan Wells has, mysteriously, or because they were out with their white friends and they are the ones who didn't come back alive. So I want to talk about that because there are some specific reasons why Nolan's case has gendered so much attention. Black people are not reacting to Nolan Wells' death out of thin air. Black people are reacting because this situation touches every historical nerve we've got. It hits the fear we grew up with, the warnings of our parents, and it hits the patterns we've watched play out for generations. But in this case, there's another layer. Nolan came from a family that actually trusted the community. They trusted the system, and they trusted the idea that color doesn't matter. And that trust is part of what makes this story so painful. Every Black person in the United States knows what it means to be the only Black person in a group of white peers. We know the shift in energy. We know the jokes that go too far. We know the peer pressure. We know the sudden feeling of being unsafe. So when Black people hear Nolan was the only Black person there, he didn't come home. His friends left him. His belongings came back without him. We don't hear accident when we hear that. We hear pattern. We've heard this before. And here's the next problem that I have a problem with. Nolan's mother and father raised him with no suspicion of color. They didn't teach him to fear white people. They didn't teach him to be hyper aware of race. They didn't teach him the watch your back talk that many Black families teach their sons. They raised him to be people are good, people are safe, you're safe with those white people, community is community, and color is irrelevant. They trusted the community, they trusted the system, and they trusted the process. And Black Americans are looking at that and saying they trusted the community more than the community protected their child. That's the heartbreak. And my question to them is, if they trusted the system, why don't they trust what the system tells them, that there was no foul play, that it was an accidental drowning? Why do they distrust the system now? So while his parents were willing to overlook history, history wasn't willing to overlook their son. In the history of Mississippi, a Black man is a Black man. And that is sometimes synonymous with a threat. Color blindness is a luxury Black children cannot afford. Not because you don't want unity, but because unity doesn't protect you from danger. When danger shows up, you need to be able to recognize it. Nolan walked into a situation without the racial armor most Black parents force onto their children for survival. And that might have been their downfall. And yes, I am criticizing the parents because any person who is not white and is living in the South who thinks that you're just going to mix in with white people, any white people, I'm sure there are some decent white people in Mississippi, but he picked those particular white people. In fact, he probably didn't even pick them. They probably picked him. That is something that I always said to my younger siblings when they went to college. Do not let people pick you. You pick your friends, and you pick your friends based on what you have been taught. Do not let them pick you. Because when people pick you, they're picking you for a particular reason, just like when you pick them, you're picking them for a particular reason. But chances are Nolan had lots of friends. And because he didn't see color, he allowed people to pick him. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because if he had had discernment and he had been taught discernment where race is concerned, it's a good chance he wouldn't have even been on that outing with that particular group of white people. Now, I'm not saying that his parents are responsible for what happened to him because they're not. The people who did that, if somebody did something to him, they are responsible for it. I'm still saying that black children cannot afford the luxury of colorblindness. And you definitely need to know how to pick friends, white or black. But right now we're talking about white folks. And we do need to understand that the reaction that black people are giving to this situation is not just about Nolan Wells. It's about every black person who didn't make it home under suspicious circumstances. It's about the drownings labeled horseplay gone wrong. It's about the hangings labeled suicide. It's about the beatings labeled mutual combat. It's about the death labeled no foul play before the ink dries. Black people are reacting because our collective memory is loud. Nolan's parents, to their credit, did everything society tells black families to do. Don't be bitter. Don't be suspicious. Don't assume racism. Trust the community. Trust the system. Raise your child to be open, friendly, and hopeful. Well, Nolan Wells' parents did all of that. They did all of that in Mississippi, knowing the history of Mississippi. And if they did know it, they should have if they were raising children. Because by now, they have buried an 18-year-old, and we don't know how he died or why. Black America is reacting because this case proves that even when black families do everything right, the outcome can still be wrong. In my opinion, they didn't do everything right because you shouldn't raise a black boy in Mississippi or anywhere in America not to see race. They need to see their race and appreciate it, and they need to see everybody else's race too. Okay, y'all, that's all I have to say about that. And I have uploaded a new video on the Black American Lineage channel entitled The 40 Acres and the Mule That We Never Got. Check it out. Thank you for listening and have a good day.